Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Crypto Vibes, also known as Crypto. I'm bringing you guys another video, and today, I'll be going over my Team Builder and Week 1 matchup in the DAL, the Draft Association League, up against Sketch AV. And if you guys remember Sketch, he's in the UPC also, so I decided to get him in this league as well. So the second time we get to play each other is pretty cool. We're meeting up in Week 1, so it should be fun, definitely. He's definitely got a scary team. I had to prep pretty hard for this team. I feel like coming in, I feel like I have a little bit of a good matchup. I will say I have a couple mons that I feel like do match up really well against this team. With that being said, here's our rosters. As you guys know, if you've seen my team, or not my team builder, my draft analysis, my team consists of Landers, Therian, Tangrowth, Crobat, Heliolisk, Torkoal, Ambipom, Mega Houndoom, Jirachi, Tapu Fini, Dusknoir, and Primeape. As Z users are Landers, Therian, and Ambipom. And Sketch's team consists of Zygarde 50% Z user, Gothitelle, Arcanine Z user, Roserade, Electros, Floatzel, Mega Sableye, Florges, Gallade, Skarmory, and Rampardos. So, he's definitely got some funky stuff on the team, especially the Gothitelle plus Mega Sableye. I'm really interested to see what he's going to do coming into this match. So, one thing I had to think about was try not to get trapped by that Gothitelle if it did come. I did expect the Gothitelle. I did expect the Mega Sableye. One huge threat on his team being the Zygarde 50%. I do feel like I have answers to it, but it's still a huge threat nonetheless. Arcanine can be an offensive threat. If that comes, I do believe it will be an offensive variant of Arcanine. Roserade, I have to be careful what that set is. Depending on what his hidden power is, that could be very crucial to how my team plays this week. And then coming in, Electros is actually a pretty big threat because it can Volt Switch on my team pretty fairly. And I imagine that thing would have HP Ice just so it could hit my Landers for super effective damage. And actually Rampardos can be a little bit of a threat. I made sure that, or if he brings Choice Scarf Rampardos, that can be a threat. Choice Band and Rampardos I don't really have a switch into, so something probably dies. So that is that. But coming into the team, you guys can see that we are bringing Tangrowth. And I do not have all the nicknames aligned on the team right now, but I will get this figured out. But we have a defensive Tangrowth with Rocky Helmet coming in. This is mainly my Zygarde answer, as this can come in on a Zygarde that's +1 already, which is nice. I believe it can take considering Zygarde's one of his Z move users, it can take a +1, what is it, the Outrage, Z Outrage at +1, I believe. And then I can HP Ice for over half, and if I ever have to, I never want to get to the point where I let the thing set up, so I do have a couple of options around that though. But Tangrowth should be able to, basically if he gets to +1, uses a Z move, weakens me down, I get about half off with the HP Ice. And then I sack something, bring Tangrowth back in, and then kill it off with the HP Ice or force him out. So that would be the worst case scenario if I end up having to sack something like that. But the best plan, the best case scenario is not let him set up at all. So with that being said, that's our Tangrowth set. We have Giga Drain, Hidden Power Ice, Knockoff, and Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb's nice to hit like stuff like the Florges. I'll just add it on at the end. Knockoff's good if Skarmory wants to come in on this, try to defog potentially. I do have Stealth Rocks on this team, you'll see here in a little bit. I have Giga Drain there just as main stab. I can hit his team relatively good. And then HP Ice for things like the Zygarde like I was talking about. So yeah, the EV spread like I was talking about, mainly for the Zygarde. This thing can also take on, what else can it take on pretty well? It's a pretty good pivot into Electros a lot of times, even though my special defense obviously isn't great. It can still take a Volt Switch for me if I need to. I can wall Floatzel completely, especially if I have the Sun up. As you can see on my team, I am bringing the Sun this week. And if the Misty Train is up, it can basically sit in front of Mega Sableye, I believe, too. As well as, like, Gallade, probably. So, I mean, it can wall a lot of stuff on his team, which is really nice. So, coming into the next one, we have Crobat here. This is my very support Crobat, mainly there for his Roserade. And the Roserade scares me a lot this week. I mean, because if it is the offensive variant with Life Orb, and depending on his hidden power, it could just start wrecking through my team. If it's hidden power Rock or hidden power Ice, that is very bad for my team. Because I'm expecting him to bring hidden power Ground, and here's why. Jirachi seems like a very good switch into Roserade most of the times, and then hidden power Ground Technician boosted does a crap ton to Jirachi on switching. And on top of that, it can hit Mega Houndoom for effective damage and the Torkoal, which are problems that sit in front of the Roserade. I believe a Life Orb hidden power Ground from Max Attack Timid Roserade can be a kill on Torkoal unless I have a pretty good amount of special defense investment, and it can kill Houndoom. So that's insane there. Got to watch out for that. It's nice to have this here because it can outspeed his what is this, Skarmory, obviously, and then we can obviously taunt against that and just roost up against it as well, preventing it from getting hazards up or getting rid of mine either way. So that's very nice for Crobat there, and it can just outspeed the majority of his team. Outspeeds the Gallade, and as long as it's not Choice Scarfed. And then, yeah, Crobat I think will be very nice this week. And coming into our next mon, we have Doomsday the Mega Houndoom. This is one of our nickname Pokemon right now. And Mega Houndoom should have a field day this week, I'm imagining. If I can play around the Arcanine fine, then I think if I get up to +2 in the sun, this thing can basically, he has no switch-ins at +2 in the sun. I'm pretty sure in the sun, without any like +2 or anything though, Fire Blast can OHKO a Mega Sableye, which is pretty insane. And yeah, Flamethrower should be doing a ton. Flamethrower can hit the majority of his team really hard, and if I ever feel like I have to go for Fire Blast, I have it there. But yeah, most of the time I'll be clicking Flamethrower and every now and then Dark Pulse. But yeah, the speed investment's there for a... I think I'm speed creeping the next fastest thing on his team would be the... Oh, it's creeping a Choice Scarf for Ampharos, in case he brought that. Which is really nice there. Because the only thing that speed tied with this on his team was the Floatzel. Other than that, his team is pretty slow. Like the Zygarde 50 is his next fastest, along with Arcanine at 95 base speed. So I want to take advantage of speed creeping right there and just throw a little bit extra in Spadef, just in case I have to take a hit from Roserade later in the game. So that's going to be the Mega Houndoom set. I think it can definitely put in work this week and should snag a couple kills, hopefully. And coming into definitely the main part to the team, I would say this week, and most weeks, that's going to be Torkoal, first place right here, with Stealth Rocks, Toxic, Lava Plume, and Hidden Power Ice. We have the Heat Rock on top of that, because I feel like just keeping maximum turns of Sun is just going to be really crucial for Mega Houndoom, because I think I can switch in on a lot of things on his team, which is really nice. This thing is a main wall to an offensive Arcanine, which I think he will bring, and it kind of allows things like Landorus and Mega Houndoom to not have to deal with it as much, which is nice. Which is nice there. And I don't want Tapu Fini to have to take offensive wild charges, obviously. It could be the Z wild charge Arcanine, so I have to watch out for that. Like I said, his Zygarde and his Arcanine are his Z move users, so that's going to be a huge deal to pay attention to. And I have Toxic there just in case I want to try to put the Arcanine on a timer, because it's really the only thing I can hit it with. Hidden Power Ice is to ensure that the Zygarde can't set up in front of me, because Lava Plume cannot break his sub, unfortunately, even in the sun, if he has a good amount of Spadef, so I didn't want to rely on that. And then, I believe the Spadef investment allows me to take most Hidden Power variants from a Roserade, a Life Orb Technician one, so that's pretty nice there. And then the rest of Max Defense just to take on that Arcanine a lot better, as well as maybe take a couple hits from Electros, and this thing can probably 1v1 a Floatzel, to be honest, in the sun, of course, so... And take a couple hits from Gallade as well, Skarmory. So, I mean, really the defensive walls are pretty nice this game, because this team is pretty physical. I'm looking at it right now. So, that's going to be the Torkoal set. Moving into our next mod, we have Landorus Atlas right here. It is a Choice Scarf variant this week with Earthquake, U-Turn, Knockoff, and Toxic. And I felt like Landorus was very necessary this week, especially a Choice Scarf variant, because this was my main, like, I wouldn't say answer for Gothitelle, but it's my main way of beating a Gothitelle, or, like, at least forcing it out. I'm scared of a Choice Scarf Gothitelle, basically. And if he ever wants to just trick something away from my Pokemon, like Tapu Fini or Crobat, that would be very problematic later in the game. So I have to pay attention to that later and watch out for stuff like that. But yeah. So basically the plan is, if he has Gothitelle on his roster, or if he brings it against me, I mean, my plan is I'm going to U-turn out, go straight into Mega Houndoom on either a trick, or he's going to switch out or something. So I think that works out pretty fine there, because obviously you cannot trick my Mega Houndoom, being that it has the Houndoomite. So yeah, that's nice there. And we have enough speed at Choice Scarf to outspeed a Choice Scarf Gallade, I believe. So that could also be a potential lead on his part if he just wants to be Choice Scarf and try to Ice Punch me, maybe. Because I believe even with Intimidate, it can still kill. So that's that. We're going to go into our next mon, and our last mon being Tapu Fini. No nickname yet. And rocking out with the leftovers, we have Nature's Madness, Moonblast, Defog, and Taunt. This Pokemon is going to be very nice. Very nice this game, as it's my main answer to Mega Sableye. Obviously, getting the Misty Terrain up, I feel, against the Mega Sableye, considering I'm a Fairy type on top of that. Misty Terrain obviously can't use status moves against me. I think that this is just one of the best counters to Mega Sableye in the format, now that I can think about it. So I was pretty fortunate to get this thing, and it's going to be huge this week. As Nature's Madness is mainly there because I think this Pokemon forces a lot of switches, especially after taunting some of his walls. And if I'm ever able to get half off on something like Roserade or something, that'd be great. Any of that, so yeah, Nature's Madness, Moonblast, Defog, and Taunt is there for those reasons. And the EV spread allows me to take, basically the Spadef right there is necessary so I can take one Sludge Bomb from a Life Orb Roserade, which is really good against his team if I ever am in a switch situation like that. But I can't really do much into return to it, so Don't know if that's completely necessary, and I believe the special attack investment allows me to 2-hit KO most Mega Sableye sets with Moonblast, if I'm ever in a situation like that. And then Defog is there just because I feel like it'll be necessary because my team is pretty weak to hazards if he brings a Scarm, which I don't think he will, but he could. And then I have Taunt just to be able to taunt things like Forges from Wishing, Skarmory from Send Up or getting rid of hazards, or even, I guess that's about it. Yeah, I guess that's about it. But anyways, that's going to be it, guys. We'll go ahead and get into the game. Yeah, here in 1 second. Alrighty. Anyways, this is the game. And would you look at that? He did, in fact, bring the Skarm. He brought the Mega Sableye, he brought the Gallade, he brought the Arcanine, he brought the Rampardos, and he brought the Roserade. So, very, very surprised he brought the Rampardos. And the Skarmory, was a little surprised on that. So, coming into this game, I did not know at all what he would lead with, to be fair. My main goal in this, even if he did or didn't bring the Gothitelle, was lead Landorus Therian. Just because I feel like getting off a U-turn on something would be good, getting off chip damage. I have pretty good switch-ins to most of his team, so I feel pretty safe doing that the majority of this game. So, what I'm going to do is lead off with my Landorus, as music is off, good. And we're going to put this on slow, and he's going to decide to lead with his Gallade. And this is very interesting turn 1, so as I was talking about, if he has Choice Scarf, I can't just U-turn out and then go into something safe like my Torkoal or my Tangrowth. He is at -1, so if he decides to Ice Punch, I believe my best play here is just to U-turn into Torkoal. As we're going to go ahead and get into it, and he's actually going to stay in, take that, and does a solid amount, 37%. And I'm going to go into Torkoal here. And he's actually going to reveal the Trick Room, so this is something I did not account for at all. Trick Room Mega Gallade, or not Mega Gallade, but regular Gallade is going to be scary. Not necessarily the Gallade, but something he has in the back that I wasn't accounting for. The Rampardos. Absolutely threatening now, so I'm going to go ahead and get my rocks up. That's going to be very nice the rest of the game. He's going to Destiny Bond on the next turn, so I actually throw off the rocks right there, obviously. And then I'm going to throw off a Toxic on this next turn, catching the Rampardos spawn switch in, which is good. It's going to limit this thing's health because this thing is going to be a huge necessity against my team. Or not, it's just going to be a problem. And with that being said, we're going to go into Tangrowth right here and try to eat up anything it goes for. He has the Head Smash. Look at this recoil damage he takes though. That is absolutely insane. But anyways, he's going to be taking the Rocky Helmet, the Life Orb, the Head Smash, and on top of that he takes the Poison at the end of the turn. So if he attacks me right here, he's dead. I could switch out and try to preserve this. I was fearing an Avalanche potentially if I went to Landorus, so I did not want to sack Landorus there at all. If he goes for anything else, Landorus can't eat and I can save my Tangrowth. But I feel like sacking off my Tangrowth here is probably just my best play, as I'm going to choose to do so, as he goes for the Crunch. And that will be the end of, that'll be the end of that'll be the end of Tangrowth, as well as Rampardos. So Rampardos will go down, as well as Tangrowth. Sorry about this, guys, just getting a little bit used to this, but I want to send in my Mega Houndoom right here. Basically, it has a good matchup against anything he sends out outside of the Arcanine. So I figure it's pretty safe for me, and if he goes into Arcanine, he's taking rocks, and I have the Torkoal to go into every single time. So I feel like this was my play. And he goes into the Roserade. So right here, obviously, I could maybe just make the play and throw off a Fire move. Probably just throw off a Fire move. That's probably just my best play here. But if he is a Choice Scarf variant with a Hidden Power Rock or Hidden Power Ground, then Mega Houndoom takes, it does not die, but it takes way too much damage where I don't want to be, because where I have Solar Power when I Mega Evolve, I'm going to be taking like a Life Orb, essentially, so I don't want to take all that damage plus Solar Power damage, or damage on top of that, so that's never going to be ideal. So I'm going to make my fair switch in here to go Crobat, and see just what he wants to go for. As he's actually just going to pull the switch, pretty fair play on his part. I could have stayed in and knocked out the Gallade, basically showing that he wants to sack it at this point, so I'll make the play in my Crobat because it walls Roserade every time. And I'm just figuring he's just going to sack it off right here. I just stay in and go ahead and Brave Bird him because I figure that's just a fair play right there. And knock out his Gallade, which is nice because that's his Trick Room abuser, or user, so he doesn't really have anything that wants to abuse it as well as Rampardos, but that's that. He's going to go to Mega Sableye here. I'm just going to go to Tapu Fini. It's my fairest play every single time, I think. As he's just going to Mega, and he shows the knockoff. So that's a really good sign for me. I was a little scared, thinking Mega Sableye might have something for Tapu Fini, but it turns out it's not going to be really doing too much to it, it looks like. And right here, I believe I throw off a Nature's Madness, catching something on the switch, and that is going to be the Skarmory. So the Skarmory's coming out. I'm going to cut out the Nature's Madness right here. And I expect him to go for a Defog or a Roost right here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with the taunt. I made sure to speed creep him, speed creeping me. I forgot, I don't know if I mentioned that in the team builder portion. But just so I could outspeed him. And I'm just going to throw up another Nature's Madness in case he wanted to switch out. But he is just going to start Brave Birding. So I guess he's essentially sacking this off too, which is going to be helping me. It's going to be weakening my Tapu Fini a lot, but I can at least keep it in the back and then set up Misty Train one more time for the Mega Sableye if it has anything up its sleeve against my team. And the taunt's going to end there, so I'm just going to taunt again. It doesn't matter if he attacks me or wants to switch out. He could have switched out into Roserade right there and got a little bit of offensive momentum, but I would have had to make the play into Crobat, and he would have had to choose to go for like his hidden power right there if he had one that's super effective against it, if so. He's going to choose to stay in. I'm just going to Moonblast here because it kills from this range and knock out his Skarm, which is a pretty big deal because now that means hazards are here to stay. And he only has 3 Pokemon remaining, which we're in a pretty good spot. He's going to go into Roserade. I am going to save my Tapu Fini and go ahead and just go into my Crobat once again, as he's probably going to predict this and just go for the hidden power. He goes ahead and tells me it is hidden power Ice. Now, one thing that sucked really bad for him is he does not have Technician on his Roserade, and he definitely wanted Technician. He I guess he got Natural Cure or something by accident, but Technician didn't show up for some reason, which is really unfortunate, but I made sure I would have lived even Technician around 2 or 3% right there. And at that point, I could have either Brave Birded or I would have pivoted out into something, but I'm pretty sure I just would have Brave Birded right there. If I Brave Birded, I would think he would switch out. Keeping his Roserade around because it was a pretty good still for like Landorus, revealing that was HP Ice obviously. Even though I can't take an Earthquake from this range, it can still kill my Fini and it can still kill my Torkoal. So, with that being said, I am just going to Roost here because I know I can take on his hidden powers now that he's not Technician, which is unfortunate though because I wish I had to face the team he prepared to bring against me, but that's unfortunate. I don't know if you guys can see the chat or not, but he was just talking about how he can he forgot the Technician. He's actually going to switch out into Diesel right here, which is an interesting play in my opinion, as I'm just going to Roost up the Fool and I can take on the Roserade once again. I'm going to pull the switch into my Torkoal because Torkoal is my primary switch into this thing. Set up the Sun for it, which is the only unfortunate thing, and he actually reveals Agility, so very interesting right here. I was actually looking down Arcanine's move list to see if it learned anything like setup wise, and for some reason Agility just went right past me. I didn't even see it, but he shows Agility. I'm not too nervous about that because it doesn't raise his like attack or anything, but he's going to show right here he has the Z move, and if this is a special Inferno Overdrive, it's going to do a ton. So yeah, that shows to be probably Overheat or Fire Blast, as it does 65% to my Torkoal, and all I have to do here is land a Toxic and put this thing on a timer, which is great, and I do land, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but fortunately. And I'm going to go ahead and sack my Tapu Fini here, because keeping my Sun around is really nice for Mega Houndoom. It gives it a better chance to 1v1 the Mega Sableye at the end of the game if I have to. So, I'm going to sack my Tapu Fini right here to a Overheat plus a Wild Charge you'll see here in a second. As Arcanine did put in a pretty decent amount of work, as Fini will go down unfortunately. So that's going to put us at a 4-3 advantage as Arcanine gets a kill. I'm just going to go into Landorus right here because if he pulls the switch into his Mega Sableye, it's taking Rocks plus 2 Earthquakes. And I don't think it lives that. So he's actually going to stay in here and fight Overheat. Does not get any kind of crit or anything. I don't know if it can burn or not. But I'm just going to knock him out with the Earthquake right here. And at this point, he does send in his Roserade. I don't know what item it is yet. It could be Choice Scarf. I'm kind of still thinking it is Choice Scarf at this point. If it's Choice Scarf and knocks me out with the HP Ice right here, that's not the end of the world, because that means he's locked into HP Ice, and I can just go into my Mega Houndoom and win the game from there, as long as I hit my moves. Well, I just have to go for Flamethrower, essentially, because I do have the Sun up. So, he's going to show that he is not Choice Scarf. I'm going to knock him out with the Earthquake, which is good news for me. And Roserade is down. And all that's... Oh, I forgot to take up the Arcanine, I'm sorry. But all that is remaining is the Mega Sableye. And that's going to come out right now, Scary Terry. And I'm just going to go ahead and switch to my Mega Houndoom. I don't want to get burned or anything prolong the game. And I'm just going to go into this as he recovers. I could have Fire Blasted right here. It killed automatically. But I wanted to Flamethrower because it at least did more than his Recover would do. And I knew I could probably 2-hit him, as it does 95% in the Sun. As he's actually going to show a really cool tech, Rain Dance, here. So he was telling me after the game that... I'll just let it finish out. But he was showing me after the game that he wanted to be able to keep his Prankster form as long as possible with Mega Sableye. And... definitely be able to 1v1 against my Mega Houndoom a lot easier, as I would have had to go to like +4 with Dark Pulse to be able to beat him. So that's insane there, guys. Pretty insane game. He has a really cool team. I think he'll have a lot of fun with it this season. Being stuff like the Zygarde 50 paired with his Gothitelle Mega Sableye should be really fun for him. So I hope he does good the rest of the season, and I hope we continue to do good. And that's going to be it, guys. We go ahead and get our first win of the season, moving us to 1-0 in the DAL. So if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I really do appreciate it, and thank you so much for watching. Peace.